Good afternoon, people. This is Saturday, and I have a couple of, how do I put this, weaknesses that I have. And one of them is football, and I absolutely love football. When I lived in Ontario, we were more into NFL than CFL. We moved out here, and now we are probably more CFL than we are NFL. But I'm kind of super excited because this year I've my son-in-law decided to ask me if I wanted to do the fantasy football pool. So I'm kind of excited about that. So what are your two favorite things that you do when you watch football? For me, it's nachos and pizza. So those definitely are not a 21-day fix container friendly thing. So I was watching one of Autumn Calabrese's cooking shows last night, and she actually did kale nachos. They looked really, really good. And hey, I'm up for anything that means I can have what I love and not feel guilty. So in this video, I'm going to show you my two favorites on the healthy side. We already know what the unhealthy side looks like, so I'm going to do the healthy side. So the first thing I'm going to do is the cauliflower pizza. It'll take a little while. So unfortunately, I don't have any of these fancy studios or anything like that. So I will show you how I prep them. I will put them in the oven, and then I can send you pics of the after results later. So what I did was I have already gotten all of my cauliflower chopped up. I use the food processor. I have learned real quickly that I used to do it by hand with a grater, and it would take a while, and the pieces would get really chunky. And this by far is the best way to do it. Just get your food processor. I got the Ninja, so it does the Ninja. I like that. But it also does the food processor and the blending as well, because I thought, why not do both at the same time? So I have one head of cauliflower in here, and I'm going to put it in my bowl. I thought it was a little more prepared, so I apologize for that. So we're going to place all of this cauliflower in the bowl. Now, obviously, this takes a little more time than doing, well, actually, I bet you it doesn't when you think about ordering it and then waiting for them to deliver it. So what I do is I put in one egg. And some egg white, just to give it that little binding. Now, I do have a recipe, and I can post that when I'm done the video, if anybody is interested in the cauliflower pizza recipe. It's really super good, and like I said, it's almost like a guilt-free thing. I can have 2 or 3 pieces, and I don't know about you, but I find a lot of times with that greasy food, even though it's pizza, it really doesn't do well with my stomach, or my digestion. Whether that's because I'm eating healthier, who knows? But I would much rather feel like I'm enjoying everything that everybody else is enjoying, but only I don't have to suffer later. So there's the egg. I always use Epicure's pizza seasoning. I find it just gives it that pop, and you don't even taste the cauliflower at all. I just pop her right in there. I like flavor, I like seasoning, so we're good to go. So stir that in. Oh God, that smells so good. Okay, then what I do is I add cheese. That's what the recipe calls for. And that all binds it together. So I usually do roughly a handful. Now, I was going to do this video live, but I figured that it's a Saturday. This is always everybody's busiest time of the weekends. Either you're working still, or you're cleaning, or spending time with your kids, or all of the above. So I thought this way, as much as I love doing live videos, I really do love doing them. But because then you guys can give me your feedback of what you'd like to see or what's going on, or you can ask questions. But I thought for the time, for being a Saturday, this would probably be the best way. So that way everybody can get a look at it and don't miss out. So I also put a little bit of Parmesan in here as well. And we're good to go. And that's it for the pizza crust. So I have the oven set at 400. And then while this is cooking, I'm going to start doing the nachos. Hey, see, I watch a lot of cooking shows. So there you go. I know the tricks of the trade. So you're going to spray your pan as best you can because this sucker sticks, man. I'm due for some new pans, that's for sure. And then you pop her on. I think you can see this. There we go. Now, obviously, this isn't the type of pizza that you can pick up with your fingers. That's what my husband always says. But you know what? It does the purpose. It gets you over that pizza craving. And you can splurge on other stuff and not feel guilty. So you have to pat it down really, really good and tight. The other reason why I like to do the cauliflower crust is what I do is after I use the food processor and dice it all down, I put it in the microwave for about 6 minutes to give it a good cook. I find that's the best way because then you don't end up getting a lot of moisture because cauliflower can be very, very moist. So there's the pizza crust all ready to go. And it's imperative that you cook this crust before you add the toppings because it is raw, right? Like there's egg in it and stuff like that. So, okay, there's the pizza crust. So I'll put it in the oven. Okay, now we're on to the nachos. So I'll just clear my messy cupboard. Excuse that for that. And get rid of that and that. So put some parchment paper on my pan, my cookie sheet here. Now, on the cooking show Autumn did, she actually separated the parchment into 4 pieces so that you just slip it off and put it on your plate. So we'll see how I do with this. Okay, so I have my kale. It's already been rinsed. And I don't know if any of you have used kale before or not, but it does come on a very thick vine. Well, once again, on the cooking show, I saw Autumn do this trick, which it saves a lot of time. It takes it right off the stem. And there you go. So you just kind of place it out, just like you would nacho chips. Yeah, that actually worked out really well. That's kind of cool. I'm impressed. I think that girl knows what she's talking about, hey? Yeah. Okay. All right, and there's another one. That's another stem. And another one. And what she said for her recipe was you use, actually I'm going to spread it all out because I don't know about you guys, but when I get nachos, I like a whole plate. And I am really loving this idea. So, then she said what you do. So that's pretty good. I think that's fairly decent size. Maybe do one more. Is you take a teaspoon of olive oil. So I've got my olive oil, and I got, or a tablespoon, sorry, she said a tablespoon, that's right. So I got my tablespoon. Now she had this nifty contraption that actually sprayed the olive oil on there, but I'm just going to sprinkle it. Oopsie daisy. Kind of mush it all around, make sure everybody's got a little bit of olive oil on their leaves there. God, I haven't cooked with olive oil or kale in so long. This is going to be a nice treat. There we go. There. And then a little bit of seasoned salt. Oops. Sorry about that. I hope you got to see that. A little bit of seasoned salt. Or, sorry. Where is my salt? There. And then there's your nacho chips. They look pretty darn good to me. I'm going to say so myself. And they go in the oven for about 15 minutes. So, while that's cooking, I will do part 2, and I will show you how we put it all together. So, stay tuned, and I will show you part 2.